Hello guys, Brandon Carey here, and today we are going to play CTR Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Now this, let me just make sure my audio is right again. Alright. Now this is a game that I've played a lot of growing up. I must have played this game thousands of times, or what seems like it. So when they made the Nitro Fueled remake, I just kind of had to jump on it. And that said, let's get started. We're gonna do the campaign. We might do a little bit of online, but as of right now, I haven't installed the latest patch, so I'm a little behind in my updates. But that still leaves the campaign to do, and if we ever do online, it'll only be like for a one-off, like maybe a couple of races to show off the features. But until then, let's start the campaign. We're gonna do it on medium. And there's two modes you can play. There's the classic mode, which is just like the original PS1 days, where you only had the 8 cast of playable characters you could choose. And there was no customization. You just use their default racers. We will use the Nitro Fueled difficult or mode, which allows us to customize our vehicle and our characters in the middle of the game with any new parts that we acquire. And use some of the characters that have been unlocked through DLC. And we're going to do it on medium difficulty because that's the normal for the purposes of this Let's Play. But I'm going to choose to play as Crunch because I'm thirsty and he's handsome. And we get to choose one of our skins for Crunch, and I will choose do the Dalmatian skin. Let's see, what do we have for our vehicle options? I do like the Spyro car a lot. I don't have a lot of cars, surprisingly. Yeah, we'll use the buggy. We'll give it a nice... Yeah, we get to play pretty dressed up to start the game. This is, Oh, we'll use a sapphire skin, because I like the chrome paint job. We can give ourselves some stickers. I don't know where the stickers are displayed on... Okay, here it is, right here in the front. We'll use the PlayStation stickers. And let us begin. So there's actually a whole campaign to this game, and we're gonna get started. I think there's gonna be a cutscene to start things off. I hope their cutscene's still here. How do I sound, by the way, in the audio? Race today, trophy prize for every track. Trophy prize. I like the idea.
Greetings, creatures of this planet. I come to compete.
So you pesky earth slugs like to race, eh? Well, I, nitrous oxide, am the fastest racer in the galaxy. I travel the stars looking for creatures to test my skills.
It's a little game I call Survival of the Fastest. Here's the way we play.
I challenge the best driver of your world to a race for the planet. If your driver wins,
I'll leave your miserable little rock alone. But if I win, I will
and make you my minions. Get ready to race for the fate of your planet.
He's a little cocky, isn't he? I like this little montage of every single racer, like, preparing their car. This is a cool little, like, character setting, establishing moment if you haven't played the series yet. That gives you just, like, a rough idea of how, of all these characters if you're playing like what we have, you know you know Cortex, you know Dingodile, you know Tiny, you know all of those characters. But if you're new, if like this is your first game, like maybe you were like many people who were friends of mine at the time, didn't play Crash, but your friend was into Crash and he got this game and you wanted to play it with him. That's useful for that kind of character.
Welcome to the adventure area. You can travel around this area and practice your driving skills. The dots and stars on the map represent warp pads which lead to races. When they flash, it signifies they are open to play. To access a racetrack, drive into a warp pad that has an active warp vortex, and it will take you to the track's starting line. Finish the track in first place to win a trophy. As you collect more trophies, other tracks will unlock. Good luck, and drive fast.
So that is the basic loop of the campaign. Good luck and drive fast. So before we can do, like, you see that there's a token, there's a relic, and there's a trophy floating in that. That's what we have yet to unlock on that course. But we can't really focus on either the relic or the CTR top until we've beaten the boss for this area. Which there are boss battles in this game. So first things first, try to get that trophy. And this is the first course. This is the intro course to the game, where you really get to take. It's a simple track, which means you get the chance to use it to learn the basic mechanics in a fairly comfortable place. If you didn't spend the time in the warp room, learning the mechanics, and hopefully I'll get to explain the mechanics. If I forget, sorry, but in the heat of a race, it's sometimes difficult to remember to talk in the to the audience or to the viewers. It gets a little hectic and a little fast-paced. Hello, webcam. I don't know why you went out of focus for a second there. That was weird. But this is the first course. This is Crash Cove.
Hey, how's my exhaust taste?
Now, kind of like in Mario Kart, you have a drift mechanic where you get to you can conserve momentum and actually gain speed by drifting. Unlike Mario Kart, though, you can only do it 3 times before you fizzle out. So, as you see here, I'm doing 3 bursts, going neutral, and then doing 3 bursts again. And by doing that, you can see in the mini map, a little above my webcam, that I am miles ahead of the competition. Because they really don't know this trick, and they really can't keep up. I also Xenochrist, you and I are in the minority there, but I also really prefer the artistic direction of the Crash series to the Mario series. And that's not just because I'm furry trash, although I 100% am. It's also because I just this reminds me a bit more of those Saturday morning cartoons that I used to watch growing up.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
And so the artistic style just kind of resonates with me more. Also, again, I didn't get the patch in time for the recording, so whoops! That'll be fixed by next time, I swear. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I'm also that's kind of unfair for me because I'm not really a Mario Kart. I didn't really play a lot of Mario Kart growing up. This was my racer of choice, so I'm gonna obviously say that I like it more because I know it better. But I really like the power slide mechanic in CTR. This is unlike a lot of the other Mario Kart clones. There is an actual debate about whether CTR Mario Kart is the better game, and it's not just like CTR fans going, "Oh, our game is better than your game." There's actually an argument to be made there. It just depends on what mechanics suit you better. Also, God, Crunch is hot.
You can go faster through turns by power sliding. Press the power slide button while performing a hard turn.
I might actually move my camera up here so I can see the mini map. Oh no, you got to see the trophy count there. It's not really a good place to put this this HUD, sadly. Let's try over here. Let's see if that works. But as you'll see, now that I have the trophy, this is locked until I get the key, which I can only get through fighting the boss and beating it. And I say fighting, it's a race like anything else here. What is that? What is that egg? I don't recognize it. Is that part of an update or something that I missed? What is that? Oh well. Not a big deal, I guess. On to the next race. Like, you're seeing that in the chat, right? Like, that's not just me losing my mind. There's a golden egg there that's just floating. For no reason. I don't remember that being there last time I played this game. I wonder if there was, like, a seasonal event that I missed. Weird. It must have been a seasonal event or something that just totally passed by me. I'll look it up at some point, probably. Or maybe I'll just forget. This was one of my... I liked this track a lot growing up. Roost Tubes. You can get some really good ups in the power. Like, there are some really good power slide spots here. Also, you notice because I am playing the Nitro Kart version, or all the other racers are also using aesthetic upgrades that they wouldn't be able to use in the classic version of this game. And jumping into the slide is a very satisfying maneuver. And jump! Oh yeah, that feels good. And I am by no means like the best at this game, but I would hope that I've played this game frequently enough that we shouldn't have too much trouble in the LP, with the exception of some of the crystal challenges. This is medium difficulty currently, which is probably why right now a lot of the racers are so far behind me. I want to get hit by that. Oh, no, never mind. This is actually a problem I had a lot in the online version of this game, is that when a cart gets so far ahead, often I find that it's difficult to interact with them. And this is a game where your weapons are such an important part of both staying ahead and getting ahead. So whenever like someone is so far ahead of you and you just can't interact with them, that makes it hard for you to catch up. And as a result, it tends to kind of result in a blowout. And I had that problem a lot playing online in CTR. But because I'm playing the story and we're playing on medium, we're not really experiencing that challenge. I mean, might not for a while, because the first areas are deliberately designed to be fairly easy. And I have played this game so often. Yeah, I might talk about that in my post, Xenochrist, but...
To get a turbo boost while power sliding, wait until the smoke from your exhaust turns black. Then press the power slide button. If you wait too long, you'll hear a backfire sound and miss your chance for a boost.
A problem I have with this game, and I'm fairly convinced it has to do with the item drops. Where once you like, it's again that whole like interaction where I find that certain items don't spawn often enough, particularly like the missiles and the when you're really far behind, the warp orb and the clock. And as a result, it makes interacting with a person in first place and knocking them off that pedestal really exceedingly difficult. To the point where, especially online, it's nearly impossible to catch up once someone's gotten sufficiently far ahead, unless they make a massive mistake of their own accord. But if they maintain vigilance and competence in their driving, then odds are they'll just win, and you won't even have a chance to even bother catching up. And especially since the AI don't get access to portals and the clock like we do, when we're in first place, that problem is more noticeable. Like, you'll notice that missile was supposed to come after me, and it fizzled out before he even got the chance to touch me in that last game. And that is going to probably be a recurring issue throughout this series. I don't know about issue, because it does result in me not having to worry a whole lot about my progress. But it does kind of result in underwhelming, shall we say, and video, because I'm not having any difficulty. This is just more or less bragging, even though there's not a whole lot of skill being imparted on my part. Like, I've gotten good at drifting because I had to even like try to play the online. But oh, they're actually having a race. Okay. This is good. This is a race. See, this is kind of like, this is what CTR is kind of at its best. It is Oh, come on. I just got ahead. Oh, that sucks. I'm kind of hoping to keep that barrier. But this is what CTR should be. Is oh, come on. It should be this like tense back and forth where you're trading blows. Did I just have that guy eat the missile that was meant for me? I'm happy about that. Oh, I'm lapping some poor fool. See, now this is a race. That was a race. That's what I'm talking about. That little back and forth you have with the other racers is what makes this game so good. And that is similar to Mario Kart in that respect. Is you get weapons and then you trade back and forth, and I take the lead, then you hit me, and then you take the lead, and then there's like this little raconteur, and then as we're doing that, other racers are catching up to us as well, and then you get this whole like little melee going in the middle of the track, and that's what makes this game so fun. You don't get that a lot in the multiplayer, in the online multiplayer, which is kind of a bummer. But when you are up with people who are of a similar skill than you are, that is where this game shines. Like, you heard me go, come on, come on, come on. But at the end of the day, that is actually that's entertaining, and that's what makes this exciting to watch and to play.
Start hopping immediately. If you react fast and hop,
Notice I've been doing this already, where when I get the TNT, to get it off you have to jump repeatedly, and then that will throw it off, and you actually have a chance, if someone's right behind you, of hitting them with it.
You must have a boss key to open this door. You can race a boss after beating all 4 tracks in an area. Beat the boss in a boss race, and the key is your prize.
I would agree with that, Xenochrist. I do think there is a matchmaking issue in the online, at least as far as I can tell. Before we go to that next area, I do want to point out this is the boss garage.
To open this door, you must come in first place in all 4 races of this area.
And essentially, once we get that last trophy, this will open up and we can fight the boss. And once we beat him, we'll get the key to unlock not just the next area, but also these portals that we can go and try the other competitions in these racetracks. But I agree with you, Xenochrist. I do think that there is a matchmaking problem. There are it's hard because it also is kind of a per track. Like during the Spyro event, because I did play that, because obviously I want Spyro in my Crash Team Racing. That's been a dream of mine for literally years. So seeing that happen, I just had to play that event. But the Spyro track is something I became like really, really good at really quickly. And there are a lot of the newer tracks especially that I just wasn't able to get good at at the same clip. And so I was getting first place on that track particularly fairly frequently, first or second. And other racers have other problems on the tracks, so it's difficult to kind of ascertain difficulty. Like, I imagine you're saying you didn't do well in the Spyro tracks, but I imagine there was a track that you did do well at. Like, there was that year one, like this, when you hit that track, you're like, oh yeah, this is my track. I'm okay with this. I want to play this. And that's really hard. I wonder how difficult that would be to handle in matchmaking.
You're sure taking your sweet time.
And these little curves are perfect for power sliding. You know I'm keeping this so that if someone even tries to cut me off, they're gonna get a missile in the face. Like that. Ooh, that was a narrow escape. This is actually a pretty easy track. There is a shortcut in this track, but I've never figured out how to get onto it. It's something that I keep meaning to look up, but never actually do. Oh, this is okay. I didn't get hit. I was afraid I was gonna get hit, and I did not get hit, and I feel good about that. I don't like going through that particular barrel without some form of protection, because it is really easy to get clipped by that barrel where there was just nothing you could do about it. And I talked about Crunch being attractive, and that's true, but there's an additional reason I'm playing him. As you can see, he is a speed character, and those back in the day and even now are some of the better characters in this game, because once you get the handle of power sliding, you can just keep your momentum going for the entire race and just blaze through these tracks. As you can see, like the other racers just weren't able to keep up. I am looking for you managed to get the shortcut. I definitely have to look up how they do that, because there was a trophy in this game for getting that shortcut that I've just not gotten. They do. I actually don't agree with the fact that they have bad handling. I think they have worse handling than the other racers. I will agree with you as far as that goes. However, I actually find them a lot easier to control, personally, than characters like Coco, who are more handling-based characters. I actually find it really easier to just go with the momentum on these characters than I do like with the turning characters. Because once you learn like the mechanics of how to brake and correct your turns, it's actually not that hard to make the characters just do what you want them to do. It requires some practice, but not as much as you think it would. In fact, they probably fixed that. Oh, well, we'll wait for this cutscene to end. I kind of like this idea that like everyone here is trying to save the world from Oxide. They just think that you're not able to do it. That's a cool little like story beat, and we'll get to see more of that from the other bosses as we go on. Fun fact: originally, that cutscene in the original version of the game, before the not before it was released, it was still they changed it before the game came out. But originally, they had Ripperoo actually speaking during that monologue. They actually were going to have Ripperoo like have a whole like voice and everything, but before the game shipped, they were like, "This is really." Oh yeah, if you go to Digino Gaming, they actually have the dialogue. You can just listen to it. It's pretty bad, and I understand why they switched it, but that was the idea, that they actually had him talking to you, because Ripperoo canonically is actually like a very like genius level intellect. He just like he's also crazy. But that was the idea. But while we're talking about the old game, they fixed it, I think, in the in this version, but in the original version there was actually a glitch, or not a glitch, like a maybe an oversight's probably the more accurate determinate the word, where the speed characters were objectively the best characters in the game, because they also had because the handling stat did nothing in the original version. The handling stat was actually a meaningless stat, and the numbers didn't actually affect anything in the code. So as a result, the speed characters just became the best characters because they had the momentum that other characters didn't have. And I think that got fixed in this version.
You're sure taking your sweet time.
But I'm not 100% on that. So this is kind of how the bosses work. It's mostly through blatant cheating. They have unlimited drops, so Ripperoo will not stop dropping TNTs. And when the game runs out of like memory to hold more TNTs, they'll just stop spawning, or they'll despawn the old ones and put the new ones in. So he's always just throwing TNTs behind him. But if you're in front of him, he has basically no answers. So really, what you want to do, and that's more for this version, the original version, is just stay in front and don't give him an inch. Which is easier said than done. I had to do a lot of sliding and speeding to keep my pace, because he is faster than I am. The bosses have enhanced stats. But the idea is that like they have enhanced stats compared to what their bases would be, and additionally they have this unlimited ammo, which makes them a difficult opponent. But if you're good and can power slide effectively, you can negate that advantage. And this is a simple track, which makes that not too difficult. But some of the later ones will get tricky, particularly Komodo Joe. Fuck that guy. Ew. But that is the fundamental game loop, is you race the 4 tracks and then fight the boss and get the key. And you just do that again and again and again until you beat the game. But just because we're done with the trophies does not mean we're done with this track or with this warp room. Because obviously we can just open that lock and we can move on to the next world.
Congratulations on opening this new area. Here you will find 4 more tracks to race. Good luck.
But, yep, you got it right, Xenochrist. It's time for backtracking. Because we still have the CTR challenge and the relic race to do for each of these tracks. And each one of these has its own rules. We'll do the relic race first. And,
get the lowest time you can by racing fast and breaking time crates. Each time crate you break will freeze the clock. If you achieve a low enough time, you will be awarded a relic.
pretty much. Just what the mask said, Aquaquer said. Your objective is to finish the race with the lowest possible time, but racing fast alone won't get you the time you need. You need to also break the time crates, which will freeze the clock and give you, similar to time trials in Crash Bandicoot Warped did when we played that. Like you hit a crate with a 1, 2, or 3 on it, and you'll get 1 or 2, 3 seconds. The clock will freeze. If you break every single crate on the track, you get a 10-second deduction off your final time. And same with Warped. I will only be going for a Sapphire because that is what's required to beat the game. I do not give two shits about getting either the gold or the platinum relics. Although obviously, I won't be. I will be trying to get the best possible time in every single instance of these relic races, just because I don't want to do it multiple times. And the difficulty here is routing, more or less, to make sure that you are getting all of the time crates, or as many as you realistically can. Oh, that's a failure on my part. That's double failure on my part. I'm gonna have to restart this. I screwed up a few too many box hits. Oops. And the ideal is getting that deduction in time. But that might not happen, and if it doesn't, it's really not a big deal. Especially for these initial tracks. Eventually they'll get a bit more complicated. Now, the lower time I first left, that's because I've frozen time. That doesn't mean I'm driving faster. It just means I picked a different set of crates that have a higher number on them. Oh well. I'm probably not going to get all the crates, but that's okay. Gotta choose when to slide and when not to. And this is probably a better time to actually just pick up these crates and then try to go for broke in the final lap. Again, all I'm looking for is a Sapphire time. I couldn't care less about getting gold or platinum. And that might be exactly what I'm getting, a Sapphire time at this, from what I'm looking like. That's not a big deal. You don't really need to get anything special out of these. Yeah, that's Sapphire time.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Not a big deal. We did what we had to. Apparently I did better my last time I played this game. Go old version of me. That's amusing. I guess I'm rusty. It's also getting really warm this evening. You can even hear the crickets chirping in the background. But that is our relic. Once the game loads up. Also, again, handsome Bandicoot.
You earned a relic. The more Wumpa fruit you collect, the faster your cart will go. If you collect and hold 10 Wumpa fruits, you'll be juiced up, and your power-up will become more potent.
And the other challenge that unlocks on each is a CTR challenge.
Collect the letters C, T,
Like
and
you can
R
still
on
see
each
me
track
in the
and come
portal.
first place
Like
to
I'm
win
right
a
there.
CTR token. Beware. Some
They just
letters are hard
didn't
to
throw
find.
me down the portal far enough for me to lose my visibility. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. This game be glitching, I guess. Oh well. Suits me just fine. But as Aku Aku explained, the objective for this race will be to collect the C, T, and R tokens, and also get first place. If I get anything less than first, it doesn't count. And if I come in first place and don't have all 3 letters, it also doesn't count. I need to complete both objectives in the same race to get the token. And these tokens will be very important later on. Like, you see the C up there on top of that ship. That's one of the 3 letters I have to collect. You know, they forgive me because I will probably be a little rusty. It's been a while since I played this game, so I might need to remember where the letters are. So this first race is probably more exploratory than anything else. I remember one of... Yeah, there's a T. So we'll pick up that T. And right now I'm behind, but that's okay. Because there is, like, as you fall far behind, the AI gets dumber and gives you a chance to catch up. And we have the C. Also, you get power-ups like that, which I was only in 4, so I shouldn't probably have gotten a power-up that strong. Like, that's the equivalent of the blue shell. Okay, so right now I have all 3 letters of means, but the only thing remaining to me is just to win the race. I'm gonna keep this file until I get another power-up box. Well, the idea was to keep it until I hit that box. That didn't turn out well. But that's fine. But the idea is that you can use these vials essentially to destroy missiles before they hit you. And keep you safe. A lot of these vials. Really getting a good place to power slide. There we go. Let's get some distance. And yeah, this is the first track, so it's kind of supposed to be basic, but that is the idea, is that I have gotten the token because I got first place and all 3 letters C, T, and R in the track. I think they actually changed it in this version of the game so that you can have any character be either a speed, a turning, or a balanced character. Now that I think about it, like, you're seeing those scales, the engine, and like those symbols. That means that's telling you what type of character that racer was set to. So like if I wanted to be Crunch still, but I wanted to be a balanced racer instead of a speed racer, I can do that in this version of the game. Something they patched in later if memory serves, but it's a nice touch, which allows you to wear the cosmetics you want without sacrificing performance in the character.
To get around a tight turn, or to face a direction quickly, use the brake slide by pressing and holding the brake button while turning hard.
And to demonstrate the brake slide, it's just that, which lets you turn, like make a huge 180-degree turn, which lets you give you really tight precision. You'll also notice that when we got the key, this purple portal opened up. And this is for a special type of CTR token event. And I'm not really good at these, so forgive me if it takes a couple
Collect every
tries.
crystal in the arena before the time runs out. If you get them all, you will win a prize.
The prize is that token. It's not that... I don't know why they're coy about it. But yes, I basically have a time limit to explore this arena and collect 20 crystals. And if I do it within the time limit, I get a token. Now, this is the one that has caused me undue ire before, and it likely will again, and I apologize in advance for any expletives that enter or exit my mouth during this challenge. And 2 and 3 and 4. Don't like this challenge. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fuck. Restart. The timer is so tight that you need to be very precise with what you're collecting. If you miss one, it's usually just worth it to restart the whole thing. Skip, skip, skip. Thank you for letting me skip that. Notice I'm using a lot of the break slide here to cancel my momentum and use it to propel myself into a crystal. That's a it's a strategy that helps me maintain my handling. I jumped right over it. Okay. God, I hate these. I hate these a lot. And who is shouting? Who is throwing fireworks at this time of day? It's freaking August. 4th of July was over a month ago. Alright, so far so good. 6, 7, 8, 9. And this will be... Oh, fuck, I didn't jump. Oh, I hate these. I hate these so much. Watch this be the rest of the episode. So far. Oh no, people are leaving because these challenges do kind of suck. It's okay, viewers, I understand. There we go! That's 10. Come on. Oh my god. I'm gonna lose this because I can't get that fucking crystal. Oh my god, I'm so pissed off. I hate these challenges. I hate them so fucking much. I hate them so much. They are the absolute fucking worst. They are the absolute fucking worst. I wish Chris was here. Charky was supposed to be with me today, but he had some prior obligations that he needed to attend to. He's been busy lately, so I didn't want to pressure him too hard. Hopefully he'll have time to join me in another episode, but for now it's just not happening. Fuck. This is a happy face. I'm happy. Do you see the joy? The reason I wanted to have Chris Macharkey with me here is because he, I think, like last year, went through this game. Oh my fucking god. Just hop! Just hop! Why won't you hop? And Chris knows how much of a pain in the ass these crystal challenges can be, because this was also the thing that took him more time than anything else in probably the entire his entire series on Crash Team Racing. He definitely spent more time doing these crystal challenges. Like, I think he once spent an entire 2-hour episode. Oh, come on! When is the ideal hop? You know what? We're gonna go at normal speed. We're not gonna get this turbo bonus because it actually ends up being worse for me. Alright, that works. It's a strat. We should have enough time to get this and climb up here and get the remaining 4 crystals. And they should all be right here. 1, 2, 3. Got it!
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, thank Christ. That is a frustrating competition. I'm not even a competition. I'm the only one in the track, so it's just me beating the clock. But unfortunately, and we'll explain why probably later, we do need to get all of these CTR tokens. Every single one of them is important. And so as a result, we have to do these competitions. And in Meyer Crunches packs. That's required to 100% completion. It helps with the RNG.
You can get a hang time turbo from jumping. The longer you're in the air, the bigger the turbo you'll get when you land. For big turbos, try to get extra air time.
Die. So now that we've gotten 2 out of the 5 areas here complete, let's move on to the next one and get more relics and more CTR tokens. And I'm going to, at some point, look up that golden egg, but it's not going to be in the middle of the recording. That is a very strange artifact. Watch me update, like, watch me download the patch, because I haven't updated this game since Christmas. And it'll be gone when I next play this game, that golden egg. Oh yeah, it's a relic race. I was thinking, why is everyone gone? I forgot. Oh yeah, it's a relic race. It's the solo adventure. There is no one else on the track. Well, missed that box, which means we are probably not going to get all the boxes for this. But that is okay. We're missing a lot of them, but that's also, again, okay. What matters most is that final time. If we get enough freeze crates on the other laps, we can make up for that deficit in the first one. That was a long turbo. And that frankly bizarre box pattern at the end is another like precise reason why getting all of the boxes in this particular challenge is kind of difficult. You also notice that in order to get like a boost jump on a straightaway, what I'm doing is more or less jumping and then using, like, reversing my direction in the middle of the jump to get a turn in the opposite direction. So I'm jumping right and then turning left in the middle of the jump so that I land on my left side and then get to turn and power slide in that direction. Not too much better than my time last time I played. Or actually worse. So I played as Tiny up until I could switch to Crunch in that first run. I like my big boys. Sue me. But that's like one of the tricks you have to learn to get good at this game is how to enable a power slide when you're going down a straightaway, and that's something that I still have trouble with. I'm probably never gonna get that good because I don't practice this game. Like, I'm not someone who sits here and jams on sessions of CTR, especially with how Activision like did this game dirty. And that'll be topic for another day. Once I get the patch going to show you the online features, we're gonna talk about that shit because that shit was unbelievable. But for now, we have a CTR challenge to contend with. And as a reminder, our objective is to get the C, T, and R letters, and then finish in first place. And once we do, we will win. Can you get that? You're on camera, dude. Within the hour, yeah. I'm busy right now. Yes. Sorry about that. Life happens. I'm going to be doing this for an hour. I'm not going to be able to, if you want to do it now. Do it now.
You're sure taking your sweet time.
Oh, right, that T is in that dirt pile. No, no. I was complaining about the heat earlier. The folks turned the AC on, and had shut the windows as a result. That was what's happening. I hate this one. All right, so we have all the letters. Just need to win the race. Oh no. Oh, thank God. For level geometry. Alright, first try. That's good. We're doing well. Means we got half the stuff, or half of the extra stuff in this world. Hopefully, we'll be able to finish before this recording is over and do some of the next world content. So far, so good. I like that tiny skin. Almost makes me wish I was playing during the Halloween event. Almost. You got that right, Flex. Now we need to get the relic for Mystery Caves. Oh! Guess we're doing the CTR challenge, actually. Again, some stuff fell off my desk, so I had to pick it up because it's cords and power supplies. What's my webcam today? And this is another CTR challenge, so let's try. Oh, I guess that's just I got the bad luck. I don't like when they put the letters in places where you just kind of have to luck into getting them or not. That's always unfortunate. I'm not seeing the other letters.
Oh yeah, that's the crunch.
Right, there's the T. I'm missing a letter. No, it's not here.
Taking your sweet time.
Is it? Probably along this chunk of track, isn't it? We might have to deliberately throw this race so that we can take some time and actually explore it in the final lap. It's more important to know where the letters are so you can plan your route. I thought I knew it, but it turns out I don't. So where is the C? That was actually like, oh, no, that's not it. That wasn't the C. I think it was the C.
Better watch your six.
I'm not seeing it. I mean, winning this race means nothing because I didn't get the C. Are any of you in the chat like seeing where the C is? Because I'm just not seeing it. All right, let's I don't really have time for trial and error. So, mystery caves, CTR letters. Okay, I think it is on that fireball track. The guide says keep to the right-hand side. This is actually a problem I did encounter with the remake a couple of times, and that problem ends up being when they add like the bloom and those kinds of effects to the map for graphical fidelity's sake. Then they introduce the challenge to like hunt for objects inside the map. Those you lose a chunk of that oh, there it is. I just went over it. You lose that visibility that you got in the original lower res version of the game. Where it's a little harder to read where certain objects are placed in the stage. But now that we know where the C, T, and R are... Oh, fuck off. We can get it. The tricky part there was just looking past the bloom in the lava and finding the sea within it. And it's one of those things where you shouldn't even have been a tricky part, but it is. That's the cold truth of the matter. Yeah, see, there it was. Okay. need to get the R and then get rid of Crash here. We will be on top. Nitro won't help me get ahead of Crash right now, game. What are you giving me? At least I can use this to keep, Yeah, this is a problem I had in this game, too, is, I never, like, they, for some reason, they don't give missiles as often as it feels like they should. And so when you're trying to catch up, and you need the one weapon to go from second to first, the game won't spawn it. And I don't recall having an issue in the original version of this game. But we did win. A victory's a victory. Uka Uka Disciples. Okay, that's funny. That's a funny little skin for Tiny. I like it. And that means we got one more CTR token. I think you're curious why I'm looking that direction. It's because I have both the chat, but also I have the game in that direction. I'm watching the OBS feed, and that's why I'm playing on, to keep myself being close to the mic. But I do have the game on my the game on the TV over there too. Oh no, I hit the wrong button. Abort, reject, no. Oh, I'm gonna be in a loading screen for a while. Crud. Crud. It is good to play this game again, though. I really enjoy Crash Team Racing. What Activision did to it, after this remake came out, though, once I get that patch installed, we can add the visual. Oh boy! Oh, you're gonna hear it come out. Whew. No, we don't want to do CTR challenge again. We want to do the relic race. We want to get that relic. Damn it, Activision, indeed. Loading. Alright, so now let's back up. Drive into the portal and do the relic race. And as a reminder, we are going for Sapphire. And I don't actually care if we get gold or platinum. That is irrelevant to me. I'm not here to prove my skills. I'm just here to show you what this game is like and how and why I like it. And that's about it. I hope when Chris ends up eventually joining us, we can have that discussion about this game versus Mario Kart. Because I feel like that would be a fun discussion to have with him, because he actually does prefer Mario Kart to CTR vastly. And I would love to hear like his Chris kind of like ranty thoughts on why that is the case. Because I don't like you guys don't know him as well as I do, but Chris is a man of very, very strong opinions. Oh well. That was a terrible first lap. Doing pretty good in the boxes, though. Ugh. That knocked my momentum out. Doing not too bad. I don't know if we'll actually get the relic though. Like, there's still a long ways to go in this race. There's not a whole lot of time freezes left. Oh fuck, that's those were some big numbers. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. Fuck. Do it again. That is Chris picking me on the side. Let me bring him in. Oh my god.
Sorry about that.
I think something's wrong with my headphones, but how are you? How are you?
So, my wife and I got caught up watching Agretzko Season 3.
Okay, here's my headphones. Give me a second to try a new pair.
Okay, sorry. I forgot I was going to join Brandon for a stream this evening. Oops. It's fine. He's fine. Yeah, my bad entirely. I lost track of time.
That's all right. But yes, Xenochrist, Arretsuko Season 3 did come out. I haven't watched it yet, and oh dear, there is something wrong with this jack or something, because I am just getting a bunch of static, although on the recording it seems fine.
Whoops. So, yeah. Deck Crash Team Racing.
Okay. Let's try moving it to the speakers. Yeah, that Crash Team Racing.
So, hello, everybody. I hope I apologize for the lateness. Like the thing also, like I had Twitter disabled on my phone because I was getting a bunch of shit, and I was like, okay, I don't need this crap.
Yeah, I can understand that completely.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't see it sooner.
So we have so far, you haven't missed like a whole lot. We got through the first 4 stages in Ripperoo, and now we're going up to clean up the relics and the CTR tokens.
So, man, okay. So, what difficulty are you playing this on?
Normal.
Okay.
And
I think I did the same thing.
Did you play the remake or the PS2 version?
Or
the PS1 version?
The PS1 version I went through entirely on stream.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah. I remember you playing the PS version. I don't remember you played the remake at all.
The remake, I did get through a bunch of stuff, and I've participated in at least a couple of the fucking, like, battle
the Grand
Pass.
Prix.
Yeah, the Grand Prix, that's what they call them. Yeah, I participated in a couple of those. I think I played one to completion because I wanted to get all the Bandicoot girls and
oh yeah, I remember that season.
Yeah, and then the Spyro season, I had to play that shit.
I did the same thing. I do have Spyro on this account.
We all had to play that.
Pretty
and
much.
then make sure I was grinding enough to get currency for the in-game shop because I wasn't spending real fucking money on any of that nonsense.
Yeah.
Because all of the like base game characters, like I have all of that shit. It was just now they introduced
the
these
seasonal stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, it really takes over my time when they do one of those things. I mean, if you're a kid and you don't have a day job, I'm sure it's fine, but
I mean, that's why I stopped doing the seasons after the Spyro season pretty much, is that
because
that was the one thing I wanted, and now that I have it, I have no incentive to do any of the other shit ever again.
It demands so much of your time, and especially like what were the other seasons, like Baby Crash and Baby Coco, like who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, those were so
prehistoric
ugly.
season. Yeah, I remember
those
that.
were so ugly too. Oh my gosh. Think little dinosaur.
It's funny because I haven't updated. Like when I opened this game, it hadn't updated since Christmas. So I still have the Christmas load screen and the Christmas CRTV.
Oh, so you're playing. Oh, okay. So you're doing all this shit offline because fuck updating this thing.
Yeah. I had the I just didn't have the patch downloaded before the recording started, so I just like, oh fuck it, I don't really care that much.
Fuck it.
I do want to show off the online at some point. I'll probably like have you join in like an online race for stream, but that'll probably be like after I complete the campaign.
Yeah, so probably afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have mine updated. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, because I've recently. I know I told you about this, but like for the folks at home, I started playing Fortnite again.
Yeah, I can't believe you did that to yourself.
Well, and it's not simply because of the Marvel stuff, because they tricked me already into buying the Captain America skin, which that money could have bought me like a whole game.
Yes.
It really could have. And but it's whatever. It's in my inventory now and I'm never getting my money back for it. Might as well use it. And but what they're doing now, and the big reason that I'm playing it, is because I have bought a Fortnite Battle Pass.
And now we have 3 relics, so now we just need to get the last CTR cup and the last relic in this world. We can move on to the next one.
Also, nice Dalmatian skin you have for Crunch.
Yeah. He's a handsome boy, you know? He's a handsome Dalmatian boy.
Sure. He could be a fireman.
Yeah, because you know, firefighters are good, cops are shit.
Oh God, I love. I only want to bring this up once, but I love that. You know, when everything was going around, and firefighters were very quick to say, "Yeah, no, cops are assholes."
Did you see
Fuck
in
'em.
France those firefighters fighting the cops?
As they should. But
But enough about politics.
to get away from that, yeah. I lost my train of thought. Goddamn. Oh, Fortnite.
Yes.
So I have purchased a battle pass only once in Fortnite. Once.
Sorry to hear that.
But much like the experience you get from doing the Grand Prix here, when you want the stuff, like, it demands so much of your time.
Which is why I eventually like dropped off this game. It's that kind of like the thing that keeps you going is fear of missing out. But
Yeah.
almost that reverse thing happens where once you've missed out on one thing, it's like, well, I can never get the full set, so
Yeah, exactly.
what the hell is my point in continuing to even try?
It's like they knew what they did when they made the system like it is. Like, they know it's gonna bug the shit out of people.
Yeah, it's asshole-ish. It's ghoulish.
Because the other thing is, so with the battle pass in Fortnite, which, you know, you pay for because that game is free, but
Yeah, that's a very important crush. That game is free.
Yeah, that's the thing. And the battle pass, I think, is like $10. So take it as you will. And of course, they try to rope you into getting the next one. Like, hey, if you bought the previous battle pass, you get a discount on it. Like, no. Because, yeah, like, the time investment that I made in that one battle pass that I got was enough to kind of burn me on any of the other ones. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Nor should you.
It's like, if there are skins that I want bad enough on their fucking store, I'll wait till they just put them up there.
Because they always do. They always, like, eventually they'll want your money so bad that you'll let you buy it.
Some of those, like, I mean, granted, I've not done Fortnite frequently, but battle pass skins have not shown up on, like, the store, so maybe they're kind of holding to that. But at the same time, there's still, like, a bunch of shit that they'll put up there. Many of them costing, I think all of them costing way too much money.
Oh, yeah.
So I bought a battle pass, and that was back in Fortnite Season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And now the number of the seasons has restarted again because they've done Fortnite Chapter 2.
Right.
Yeah, so now, currently, Chapter 2, they are on Chapter 2, Season 4. I have things sitting in my inventory on my Fortnite account that basically says, hey, this can only be unlocked by getting to a certain level in Season 4.
So you're going to try to see if that will unlock it for you by doing this Season 4 instead of the previous one. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like, so, I mean, and it could cost me nothing to do, which is ideal because I don't want to put money into this. And I don't think it would take me too long if I do, like, they have weekly challenges as well as, like, random challenges and stuff, and it's like, okay, once a week I'll probably check these and do that. And they kind of give experience at a ridiculous rate too, and all things considered, like, just for playing the game, even though, like, oh, I got 1100 XP just
I mean,
for...
they created the Battle Pass system. They, of course, will
Yes.
be the ones that know how to best utilize it.
But granted, that XP, like, as generous as they are with it, it's still probably going to take you time to get to a level where you want.
Oh, yeah, for
Like,
sure.
getting level 99 in that battle pass is still going to take you months and months.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I'm not in it for that long. I'm in it for, like, the halfway. So...
Now we have the last ATR token here. Let's get that last relic, and we should be able to leave this place for good.
It was... God, I still remember getting hype when they announced this remake of, like, yes, I'm all for
And, you
this.
know, it was good for about a month.
Yeah. and we got an arcade racing game.
And
in
when
the year
when
of
I
our...
install this patch and get to show the viewers why I hate this shit, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Is this a gem hunt one? Or...
This is a relic race.
Oh, okay.
You don't hunt for gems in CTR, thankfully. You win gems by beating the cups.
That's yeah. God, the gem hunts in... Yeah, because those were a thing. Like, they were timed, and you had to get them in a certain time. Like, I hated those.
Oh, those are the CTR challenge you're thinking of. We got to get the CTR and win the race. Oh, yeah, this is...
that too, yeah.
Yeah, and this one you have to... this is the time trial. You have to get all the time... get as many time credits as you can to freeze the clock and keep your speed up.
God, lime-flavored bubbly is just so fucking good.
I have never been a fan of bubbly, and I've tried them. I just don't like the taste.
I'm going to say at the very least, try the cherry flavor, because holy shit. Like, that is the best not soda I have ever had.
So I did want to talk to you about something since you're here, and we've taught this like off the air, but you are very much like a Mario Kart mark.
Yes.
And I don't mean that like disparagingly.
And look,
I very much love this game, probably like more so than Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to like, shoot the breeze about the good and bad things about both games, since we're both here and we both have like our preferences.
Right. So one of the biggest separators of Mario Kart and CTR, in my experience, is the boost system.
Oh yeah, the power slides versus the drifts.
Yes. Whereas like boosting in
I remember
CTR,
it took you a while to get used to this mechanic because of how different it is
oh
from Mario
god,
Kart.
yes. And I do like what it does. What I hate, though,
lose this one.
And granted, Mario Kart has its assholes online too, so that's a given. I mean, it's an online game; you're always going to have that. And even Mario Kart is exploitable to an extent, but the things you have to do to exploit the boost system in Mario Kart is incredibly ridiculous. But in CTR, I mean, it's also kind of the same for CTR. Holding on to a boost in CTR,
it's hard.
It's incredibly hard. But at the same time, sometimes it doesn't matter how hard something is. If somebody's able to do it, and if it breaks the game, I don't care how hard it was for them.
How to exploit it for all it's worth.
Well, that's still my thing, though. Even if something has like a barrier to entry, like the skill of what it takes to do something.
I'm missing all these boxes.
How long it takes to figure out is irrelevant to me, and how long it took someone to practice something to get to a point where they broke the game is irrelevant to me. The fact that it can break the game is unacceptable, in my opinion. Because you and I both have seen online races where like people...
I wouldn't call it game breaking, but I do agree that there is a skill ceiling there that is very hard to broach.
Yeah. And many would say like, well, because it's hard to broach, it doesn't break the game. Like, to that I say go fuck yourself, because it doesn't matter how high you put a skill ceiling. If somebody figures it out, they'll figure it out, and they'll practice it relentlessly to the point where it just becomes muscle memory for them. And they're like, well, then they earned it. And once again, I say, go fuck yourself. You put shit in here that is broken.
Well, I would also say that the Mario drift system is equally in that same. It's almost the exact same in that respect.
So the Mario drift system, gave way to something that was referred to as snaking, and you obviously see snaking probably just as bad in CTR.
Yeah. Like I was explaining it to the viewers a little earlier. That should hopefully not kill my time. I don't know if you're watching the stream right now.
No, I am watching the stream. And granted, I have a little bit of a delay, but
Yeah.
it's like... Yeah, no, yeah, I mean... See, I mean, it'd be something to say that, like, you know, oh, comparing CTR is just like, in Mario Kart is just like comparing Mortal Kombat to Street Fighter, you come to two different things. And I was like, that's fair.
You're not entirely wrong when you say that either.
No.
Because I think out of all of the Mario Kart imitators, this one is the one that got his identity, like, most firmly rooted.
And granted, within the same year, we also got Sonic Team Racing, which I heard okay things about. Like, that game's not bad,
I heard
but...
that the one that people really like is All-Stars Racing Transformed.
The Transformed is still the best one, yeah. Of those three car racing games that they made, Transformed is...
Oh yeah, we're gonna get whale underestimate for this. This is gonna be a relic for sure.
Racing Transformed, I think, also, you know, it takes its boosting system and stuff is very much like Mario Kart, where, you know, it's drifting, power sliding. Certainly not how it is in CTR.
Yeah.
God, I should go
like
play
really
Racing
the big trick with CTR is learning how to get your drift boost going on a straight path.
Yeah.
And that's possible, it's just really hard to do.
There's a video, I gotta look up the channel. I believe it's called Game Champ, and this guy basically said, like, can you beat the adventure mode in CTR without pushing the gas?
Interesting.
Yeah, like, at that point, what are you doing?
What are you doing at that point? I'm curious how he managed to get forward momentum going without hitting the gas.
Yeah, I'd have to watch it again. Yeah, Game Champ 3000 is the YouTube channel. And I'll put a link in the chat for those who are curious.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you will be as well. I'll probably just send this to you.
look at all these green check marks. We're done this world. Let's move on to World 2.
Nice.
Get some more trophies.
Power slides the whole time. Yeah, that is essentially what that dude does, and what you would have to do if you can't push the X button. Yeah, this is the video that I'm referring to. For those who are curious.
Yeah, and I know if you get really good at this game, like you can start getting reliably the blue fire, which I believe is referred to as Saint Elmo's fire by the community. And like that's just like the super high speed.
This is the load save screen.
Yeah, and it's the whole thing of like people talking about like maintaining the blue fire, and it's like, oh god.
Yeah. Like there are whole tutorial videos about how to maintain the blue fire in this game. It's that like there's a lot of mechanics that are actually it's a very deep system. Surprisingly so. Tiger Temple.
Somebody drew a human Retzko. I did not need to see this, but there it is. I mean, I could believe it.
Watch the whole season, or are you
So I was behind actually starting this evening. Like I was still only like on the halfway point of season 2.
So I haven't watched any season 3 yet.
But we watched it, and while I was folding laundry, we watched season 3. Like we started watching it, and then partway through, I was like, I have to know. And we just kept watching it. And that is also why I'm late here today.
It's funny because I only knew season 3 was coming out because I started seeing the fan art before I saw the announcement that the season was out.
Oh, man.
And, like, you can always tell with furries when, like, a popular furry show is out because the fan art is immediate. It doesn't it takes less than an hour after the show has been launched, you'll see the fan art.
As well as characters that like get introduced in the show, because you can't escape that shit.
Yeah, you really can't.
Yeah, it gets everywhere. And I was like, okay, so there's this new girl that shows up, and yeah.
So we're gonna Unamaga our way through the shortcut. The mask is by far the easiest way to get through that shortcut. And it's good to know that because I believe there's a CTR letter in that shortcut as well.
So I mean that's pretty much how they hide them for the most part.
The CTR challenges are actually pretty good at teaching you like the intricacies of a track. It shows you like the things you can get away with. Like that shortcut, like that is a good thing to learn when you're doing this track online with other players. Is how to use that shortcut.
Yeah, probably the most difficult one that I had was as far as the CTR challenges go was it's Pinstripe's track.
Oh yeah, Hot Air Skyway.
Yeah, oh god. I did not want to do that track anymore.
I remember watching you go through that.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that any more than I had to. Like, oh man, go fuck yourself, designers.
Man, the bumps on this level feel good because you can get such speed off them. Oh, that feels so good. I think you can actually use... Yeah, you can use the vial to blow up the door to the shortcut.
Yeah, which is always nice.
Like any projectile should help you open it, or anything that has a hitbox.
And randomly scrolling through stuff. Randomly scrolling through stuff and just remembering, man, I gotta watch Batman Brave and the Bold.
I never gave that show the chance that I really should have.
Oh god. Okay. Here's what's great about that show. For a few reasons. Now, the biggest thing about Batman Brave and the Bold was that it was hearkening back to Silver Age comic bullshit, right?
Right.
And like they had a fat Lex Luthor. That's how much they were trying to stick with that. It was great. There are very many times they are just self-aware.
Unplug it, plug it back in, and now I can hear you just fine without the static.
God, like there are so many good ones too. Not to mention the fact, like, despite how like the show also kind of wears on its sleeve. They're trying to sell you action figures.
Yeah.
But that's
anything with superheroes. They're trying to sell you shit.
Batman especially.
Yeah.
But no, they also went some places too, and they, like I said, they were aware of some nonsense. Like there's a really good episode where Batman runs into Batmite, who if you don't know who this character is, and don't be surprised you don't, Batmite is a imp from the 5th dimension, which the 5th dimension just seems to be home
to all the supernatural shit. Yeah.
Well, yeah, all of these like all-powerful assholes, because the 5th dimension is also where Mr.
Mystic
Spitlick
yes,
from.
whatever.
Yes.
How you pronounce his name.
But Batmite, like, he's not there to like get on Batman's nerves and fuck with him because he thinks it's fun, which is Spitlick's agenda with Superman. No, Batmite is there because he is Batman's biggest fan.
I want to take a quick break from that because I do want to talk about this level. This is actually this is probably one of my favorite levels in the game because when you learn how to do the power slide, this is one of the easiest tracks to like start practicing it because of it's mostly just a bunch of giant turns.
It really is.
Which makes it easy. Like, surprisingly enough, Coco is actually probably the worst character for Coco Park because she's a handler. She's a handling character. And like this is a speed character's haven for how straight and easy to maneuver it is.
Yeah, this is a fun, like, low stress track.
Yeah.
As opposed to a lot of the other ones that just piss me the fuck off.
I mean, we'll get to Dragon Mines at some point, and that is one where even I am like, what were you thinking?
So there was something that kind of was like I had seen in reviews where YouTube channel I follow, Catacurus.
I know Catacris. I know he also
yeah.
loves this game.
He loves Crash in
In general, yeah.
Um,
He had a YouTube video where he got all the platinum relics from all the games in the Crash series, and he's a fucking madman.
only him.
Even the
Only
GBA
him.
games! Even the GBA games!
I knew those games existed, and I never played a single one.
That's okay, you didn't have to.
So,
Also, you notice what I'm doing a lot is I am doing the turn left, boost, turn right, boost, and like that is how you're supposed to keep like even on a straight way your power slide going.
you're snaking.
Yes.
You're, oh man, but
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Kiss that bicep.
Something that Catacurus had brought up was how they included characters from not only
From the
original
very
series,
obscure games in this franchise.
like Crash Nitro Kart, which is a fairly well-regarded game as far as the Crash racing
As far
games
as the
went.
platforming is concerned, it is a well-regarded game.
Well, Nitro Kart.
I'm talking about Nitro Kart. I was talking about tag team racing.
No. Oh no,
Yeah,
no.
Nitro
Tag
Kart.
team-
Nitro Kart is fine, but it's not. It would be a good game if Crash Team Racing didn't come out first.
which is fair. But
Is
that
the
game
problem,
tried,
yeah.
and it did a really good job. Now, Crash Team Racing is a mistake that shouldn't have happened.
You mean tag team racing? Yeah.
Tag Team Racing? Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, because that game is not funny,
Its gimmick is,
but also
busted.
really easy to abuse.
Yes.
Basically, you win any race by just fusing with engine, and then blowing every other track in the water. And then when you get to the end, you just ditch engine and go ahead of him, and then win the race.
Yeah.
And that's how you win every single round without fail.
Yeah.
The same strategy will work every time.
Not to mention, they threw in all this platforming nonsense in like a hub area, and it just wasn't great.
Oh, hi, Kelly.
This is a weird remaster of Diddy Kong Racing.
Ugh.
I played Diddy Kong Racing on the DS.
On the DS.
You know what sucked about that game? Was to get a boost at the start, you had to do touchscreen bullshit. Spin the tire really fast.
No,
Spin
I'll
the
pass.
propeller. Spin this propeller. Blow into the microphone
this
to
is
make
a-
the spin. Like,
This is a fun track.
but no, like Catacurus had mentioned how this game has characters and drivers from Nitro
There's
Kart.
even some stuff from the GBA games in here, from some of the later
Yeah.
seasons. Like all that's because they needed to find characters to put in through the seasonal content.
Something I wasn't aware of though was that in Nitro Kart there were anti-gravity tracks.
Yeah, and they cut those from this remake because this remake also like includes a lot of the CNK tracks. They
Yeah.
chose not to use those because they couldn't really get them to work in time for the release. And
Which is understandable.
I don't I don't fault them for that at all.
No, like that's it was just it was too big of an ask. Like it
Yeah.
really was. Like I don't see how you could feasibly do it. So, but getting back to Batman, there's an episode of Batman Brave and the Bold where the writers knew. They knew people were gonna say, "Hey, this isn't Batman the Animated Series," and then you're doing all this goofy shit. That's not Batman, and they do a fourth wall breaking bit where and this is probably the character you do it with because Batmite is capable of anything. They do this.
Got a race
bit,
going from the looks of it.
They do this bit where they stop the scene and they zoom out to what is the episode playing on a screen at a convention, saying like, in previous animated shows, Batman was dark and grim, and
Nice.
here Batman's fighting a giant rabbit. That's not my Batman. And then Batmite proceeds to read this big long note, which was basically the writer saying, hey, we're having fun. We know this isn't the animated series. And if that's what you want, and that's the only thing you want, then this isn't for you. Give other children something to enjoy.
Wow.
I mean, they don't say that exactly, but it's very much.
It's
like
very much the
thing,
implication.
Like, it's very much the writer
Oh,
saying,
fuck.
"Look, we know you like that show, and you want everything to just be that show because it was perfect, but we're doing something different. There's what it is." Like, and to their credit, like Brave and the Bold was something I really liked. It would go so far as to like make the kind of jokes that like web comics make about comic books and how stupid they are.
There is a way to power slide up that pyramid, but I don't know what it is, and I don't feel like figuring it out.
Oh god, it's hard to power slide through that whole thing with freaking right angles.
Yeah. It is possible, I just don't know how to do it.
It's incredibly hard. Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think of like.
Whew. But once you like this is also a pretty good level to practice power sliding on, like for some of these areas. There are a couple of these really good, like really sharp turns.
I find it kind of crappy that kart racers are like the only arcade racing games that we get.
Yeah.
Granted, we have gotten re-releases of stuff like Burnout, but like everything else, if you've got like real cars in it, it tries too much to be a sim.
Yeah, it really does, but
Need for Speed games were,
part of what I like about this game is that like it's the weapons and being able to interact with other racers on the track. Like that is a part of what makes this game so fun. Also, yes, I miss Burnout.
Yeah, I mean, we got that re-release of Paradise because
You know what I need to play? You know what I need to play? I need to play Wipeout VR at some point because that seemed really fucking fun.
Oh, I would totally reinstall Wipeout. I love that game.
Because they added VR to it when PSVR came out, like so you can play the game in first person in the cockpit.
Well, I used to question constantly of whether or not if I should get a PSVR headset, because I do own at least probably 5 different games that are compatible for the thing. And there's also a small part of me that's like, you know, I hear really good things about that Iron Man VR.
I think we got time for one more race before we call it a night.
But no, like Need for Speed was also somewhat like the arcade game, but
yeah,
Need for Speed has not done well in recent years.
I now that you said it, I do agree. We need a new Burnout game because Burnout, like that is I remember when we played together with Ian and Sam, and Cody. Like those were fun times.
Good time. It's just it's a shame that like somebody tried to make like a spiritual successor to like Burnout's Crash Mode.
Yeah.
And it didn't do well. Like I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't great and it wasn't well received. Like it was like you tried to replicate this thing and you didn't do it well, so you fucked up.
You really, yeah. Let's see, what's our... I guess we'll do the last one and then do the boss fight at the start of the next episode.
Sure.
Because this is the last race, last trophy race for the second region.
Although seeing stuff like this come back and like...
And be, like, popular. Like, this is still a very popular game.
But also, like, harkening back to, like, the PS1 days of stuff. And
like you can have more than just Mario Kart and like that's good. That's great even.
Like we have
Go ahead.
We got the Insane Trilogy, we got the Spyro Reignited Trilogy.
And there's new Crash coming out in like a month or two.
Tekken is the best it has ever been.
I mean, this kind of comes in waves. Like this is roughly a time when you start getting that '90s nostalgia going.
And now, like, yeah, Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
Yeah, which have you played the demo for that?
No,
It's
but I'm
really good.
ecstatic.
I'm not sure it runs on my PC, but it's still really good. I might probably get that on console. I might cancel my pre-order on Epic Game Store and get it on a console instead.
I see myself buying this twice, mostly because I'm gonna play it on PlayStation because I want to play it on a damned PlayStation where I remember.
Where you remember the Citizen Kane of video games.
And then years down the road, I'll be like, okay, now I'll get this on PC
because
God,
graphics.
I remember. I know I'm going into a tangent here on Tony Hawk, but man,
as you do,
whiling away the hours on Tony Hawk. Not even playing like the main mission mode or anything, just dicking around in a park.
Yeah, or in the warehouse.
The Chicago skate park was my favorite area, and
all right, you get the blue shield.
Tony Hawk.
The blue shield doesn't expire, so you can just put it on and it'll take a hit when you need it to.
I'm gonna expose how old I am, but I remember watching fucking extended play or G4 TV or whatever.
Oh, before it became X-Play?
Actually, no. Before it became G4 TV, it was still ZD TV.
Oh, wow.
Tech TV, and they were extended play, and they were looking at the preview of the first Tony Hawk game, and I could see, and I remember seeing like the Hawkman himself.
Who was, by the way, an extremely sweet person in real life.
He's a good guy. There's a story I got for that later, but
I mean, you might as well sell it now because not there's going to be much of a later.
Well, the thing on that preview of the very first Tony Hawk game, and I remember him talking about it, saying like, man, it just seemed so fun to play. Like there weren't even any goals to it yet. And I know exactly what he means by that.
Yeah.
Because that was the most fun I had playing that. But no, there's a hilarious thing where if you listen to Castle's Super Beast podcast.
Yes.
And there's an animated bit talking about the existential crisis of Tony Hawk.
I mean, I remember the tweet specifically. It was a very long time ago where he was at a restaurant and the waitress said, "Are you Tony Hawk?" And he said yes, and she responded, "Why?" And he didn't have an answer.
But no, and then they do this whole video on this animated video on just this joke of Pat and Wooly talking about Tony Hawk's midlife crisis.
Yes.
And the thing was, he left a comment on it.
Oh my god.
He's like, yeah, it's pretty much my life.
I love that man. He's great.
I'm gonna have to link you to it. It's so good.
And on that note, we are going to wrap up on Crunch Packs. Because it is about time, and actually no, we'll probably have to do the boss fight rant so that Papu Papu can talk about how much of a badass he is, and then we'll call it.
Does Papu Papu go ekum bokum?
No, he speaks English. They did a better job with these than they did. Like the PS1 version was just kind of like them monologuing.
Yeah,
and they added a lot with these animations.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, to be fair with those, you know, they were doing the best with what they had to work with. And
now that you have the new consoles, the new graphics, and all the extra time, you can put that effort in.
Yeah.
But we can talk more about that the next time. Which we still should be able to have to do this next week. I don't think I'm on call yet.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna actually remind myself next week.
But
hey, dumbass, show up.
Thank you for joining, at least for the second half.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
And thank you guys for the chat for keeping us for keeping me entertained and for joining me in this little adventure. Next week we will fight Papu Papu and continue our adventure, getting more CTR tokens, getting more relics, getting more everything until we can eventually like make our way up to the big bad Oxide himself. So with that, take care, and I will see you all next week. Bye.
Good night.